In November of 2023, OpenAI's ChatGPT platform opened up the world of GPTs. While that sounds confusing, well, it kind of is. So let me just go over and show you what I'm talking about. If you're unfamiliar with ChatGPT, go to this video. However, if you are familiar with ChatGPT or OpenAI's platform, this is the first page that you see. And I'm going over to the sidebar. I still like to call it the dashboard. I'm going to select it. And over here, I have my own GPTs that I created. They are searchable. And then you can explore GPTs. And in here, you have the featured ones. You have some trending ones. I really like Canva's trending one. And some of you remember this as being a plugin where you had to find it and attach it to the GPT. Well, now it's kind of just integrated. And I want to show you some ways that you can actually use the GPTs. Now, if you're in education, this one you will really like. Well, I like it because I created it. So you can search any GPTs up here. And maybe you want to learn a little bit more about mathematics. Maybe you want to learn a little bit more about science and how you can integrate that in your lesson plans. And you can just type that. So I created a math practice guide. And what I mean by that, it's the mathematical practices guide. And when I enter that, you see math practice guide, gentleman created that, and mine's the next one. And what this does, it's an advisor for teachers to use the SMPs and integrate them with actually any standards, but I specifically added the California state standards for this. But you can do this no matter what state you're in and use your state standards. So this is what comes up, and you can start a chat. And I have some conversation starters that I added, like how can I integrate SMPs with third grade mathematics, suggest a lesson plan for SMPs in middle school algebra, high school algebra, examples of using SMPs in high school calculus, activity ideas for teaching SMPs in elementary math. So let's just select one. And I've recently updated this because I uploaded the California's mathematics framework in here to kind of help you out. And the other thing that I did is I used the Routines for Reasoning book. I do highly recommend that book. You can find it on Amazon. And the reason why I recommend it is because it uses the 8 mathematical practices in an umbrella form. I also added downloadable tools for you with the GPT. So what I really like is that for kindergarten to second grade, counting collections, it gives you an activity, making sense of the problem, and using SMP 6, attend to precision. Now, I do like the umbrella model, but that is another day and a whole nother YouTube video. But if you're curious, go to this video. So you can do many things, and you can start a new GPT. You can select GPT. Now it goes to my main page, but if you, again, wanted to find it, you can go to GPT, and I'm going to type in math practice guide because I'm telling you which one it is, and I will throw that link in the description so that you can find it. And there are other ones, but I'm going to select this one. And if you scroll, there are it even gives you more of the GPTs that I created. So check this out. You can select any of these, but let's just say you want to start a GPT and you want to say, what is the best way to teach the SMPs in kindergarten? Now, in the state of California and around the United States, using the SMPs and integrating them with mathematics is not new. However, there are many educators that don't realize the importance of the SMPs. And I'm telling you this because it's the thinking around mathematics. We are really good at concepts and procedures, meaning the computational piece of mathematics, but integrating the thinking and problem solving, not so much. How do I know that? The state of California is 40th out of all 50 states in the United States, not including the District of Columbia or Puerto Rico. So, boy, that sounds like an infomercial. But anyway, so when you look at this, it's telling you make sense of the problem. Story problems, use simple story problems that relate to students' daily lives. For example, if you have 3 apples and your friends give you 2 more, how many apples do you have? If kids cannot make sense of a problem and persevere through it, they're done. They can't even continue. And it really outlines what you can do in each mathematical practice. And what I did is I actually added the umbrella model so that you can actually download that. And I will put that PDF that you can grab in the description, because the umbrella model calls for doing the overarching umbrella, which is SMP number 1. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I feel like I should share this with you. Now, in the state of California, we look at the SMPs as habits of mind and like overarching habits of mind and productive mathematical thinker. However, the Routines for Reasoning book, or the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, looks at these slightly differently. And I want to show you this. So this is how the state standards in the state of California will highlight the mathematical practices. And many teachers kind of overlook this. However, if you look at the mathematical practices from an overarching umbrella, making sense of them, this is SMP 2. And then you have all 3, 4, 5, 6 that you would do. And then you have SMP 7. And you will always, or at least do one of these, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And then repetition. But what does that really mean? That really means that you have what we call the lead actors or avenues of thinking. So 2, 7, and 8 are the avenues, like see the avenues to the umbrella of thinking. And then we have navigating the problem, like navigating the problem or solving the problem. So I kind of wanted to show you what I meant by that before I go back to ChatGPT. Now I'm back in ChatGPT. And I wanted to tell you that because what I wanted to do is push ChatGPT just slightly and say, use the avenues of thinking where students will start with SMP 1 and use 2, 3, we'll just say 2, and use 2 as the avenue of thinking, and 3, 4, 5, or 6. Redo a recommendation of teaching. So I wanted to show you that, like you can really push ChatGPT, like making sense of the problem. Now I love it. Think, pair, share, guided questions, and then reasoning abstractly, manipulatives and drawings. You know that when students touch the math, their cognitive ability increases, and the neuroplasticity of the brain will start to make connections where kids can have tactile and put that into their long-term memory. This is wonderful. And then 3, a constructive viable argument. Like you can choose to do 3, 4, 5, or 6. You don't want to do all these at once. You want to start with them individually and then slowly integrate them. And yes, it is okay to tell even kindergartners what mathematical practice number 1 is. We are going to persevere through this problem and make sense of it. Tell them what it is. Please go ahead in the description, grab my GPT, play with it in mathematics. And you can search some other ones and play around with them. Yes, you can create your own. That'll be another video. And let me know what you think, especially if you are a math teacher, a K-6 teacher, or you teach maybe science and math. I like the SMPs because it really breaks down how we're thinking about the math and not just doing computational math. When students cannot visualize what that mathematics is like in their head, then we are not teaching them how to problem solve through the mathematics, and it becomes very abstract. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on the bell, and of course, comment. Tell me everything about what you're doing with ChatGPT.